We walk amongst ghosts every day, be it sights of war and strife, or poverty and horror. The twisting, snaking paths are beautiful, but can lead us to some things undiscovered and terrifying. From the Mississippi Delta to the jungles of the Far East, the dead demand to be acknowledged. This is what we do here. Welcome to the House of Asher. Yes, sir. This is the House of Asher. I'm your host, Steve Asher. I hope you guys are doing great. I think we're right up about 100 days to my favorite holiday, Halloween. Now, that doesn't mean that I don't enjoy, Christmas holidays and things like that and whatnot. But, I'm at the age, I'm 54 now. I'm at the age now where that's more for kind of seeing the kids opening the presents and whatnot and catching up with family. It generally, I don't have those coming down the stairs with the bicycle under the tree moments anymore. You know what I mean? That's just not what it's about for me. So for me, just Halloween's always kind of held my favor in regards of top spot for holidays. It's one of the first, first real. Like I said, I'm a Gen Xer, so I was kind of a latchkey kid. So I had a fair amount of freedom, but I don't remember having my folks drive me around to every house and whatnot, like I did for my kids. It was pretty much, you put your mask on, you have your bag, usually a pillowcase or something tied to your bike, and off you went into the night. And you would go to the lights went off, man. You went, you collected. You were on a mission. Free candy? Yes, please. Sign me up. So, it definitely left a lasting mark on my personality and on my psyche, I guess you could say. That being said, I had noticed sort of there's always been kind of a rebuttal against, the season of saween and Halloween and all that by a lot of religious organizations. And you do your thing, me personally, I'm like, well, if you're going to poo-poo on Halloween, maybe you should poo-poo on all those other elements of holidays that you've got in Christmas and Easter. And, it's just chock full of early, from the point of the Christians anyway, pagan holidays. So, but anyway. But yeah, like I said, Halloween, super groovy, love it. It's still my favorite holiday. I should probably say that you probably listen to this on YouTube, possibly Spreaker, Spotify, iHeart, pretty much any of the different, podcast platforms. And I just want to say thanks. I appreciate it. I'm trying to get back to doing more of these. I do work a lot at my day job, but this is something I definitely love to do, and I like touching base and talking to you guys with this sort of thing. And do have some kind of cool guests coming up. But like I said, right now I'm still kind of doing solo stuff. And that's just going to be okay. But again, thank you for listening. And always check out Steve, pardon me, I'm so sorry, steveasher.studio.com. And that connects to a lot of my books that most of them now you can get directly through Amazon worldwide. And about different appearances and whatnot and different investigations and whatnot. Anyway, now that house mess is covered, I was wondering if people still celebrate it like they used to. And the last numbers I got as of to what percentage of people celebrate Halloween annually. Okay? especially in America, okay, which is where I'm from, so that's where I generally talk about. I believe around 73 to 75% of people participate in Halloween-related activities. Now, that's up. Okay, that's up. To me, that still seems low, but that's up from about 69%. And that's the thing. That's even with the pandemic. That's even with all this and that going on. I think, because I remember in certain places they would still do, like, pass out candy, but they'd have like a 4 or 5 inch PVC pipe kind of angled down from the front porch, and they could drop candy, and then they could whatever. It's a trip. It was really a trip. Holidays in the pandemic. And I remember telling everybody, well, you can't be in groups of more than this and that, which it never seemed to stop the politicians, and it never did. Prohibition didn't stop politicians from drinking. It didn't stop them from doing what they wanted to do. So come on, guys. I don't know how much about, if it was more about control than it was actually helping people. And that's a whole nother podcast for real. But, I was checking this out. And that's great. I like that. And I think part of it is when the world got smaller. Okay, in a way, the world got really small. Everybody's doing mini farms, and everybody's doing this. I wish, and I hope people stay with that. I think that was a good thing. I think now that they've kind of opened things back up, and I'm just waiting for the next new COVID to shut everything down. But I think people started going back to more family-based stuff. More communal-based stuff. I dug it. But you know what? I was looking at what states celebrate, Halloween the most, which one that really puts time and money on different festivals and whatnot. And I was really kind of surprised that they were talking about New Hampshire. That kind of surprised me. Now, I know that places like South Dakota, about 28%, reported spending anywhere from $250 to $500 on Halloween decorations each year. Okay, so I don't know if they're just adding to their setup, or if they're getting new gear every year. I don't know. That's pretty darn dedicated. I know some haunters and people that do this kind of on the reg, and I'm like, dude, man, that's some money. I mean, I've made Halloween gear. I've made I would make resin skulls, and I'd make skulls out of milk jugs, and I'd make all kinds of different things out of whatever, which is really cool. But you can spend some mega bucks on this. Now, I know New York City, they took the top spot with about 36% of people spending money within about the same range. Now that's a lot of people. It's a lot of people. Now don't get me wrong, there's probably 21% that avoid it, and they look at it because of the pagan elements, which again, man, I don't want to get into it in this podcast, but the sun, the light of the world, it all kind of goes back to solar worship. There's just elements, and there's these certain, I don't want to say tropes or archetypes that are followed. It just is. Come on, guys. We still live on the same planet with a burning sun. We still live on the same planet with the weather and a lot of the different elements. So, but can any of you guess what town would be considered like Halloween Town, USA? This should be easy if you think about it. Okay, I'll give you guys a minute to think amongst yourself. Now, if you have a counter for the town I'm fixing to tell you, let me know. Because there's a lot of different places I could kind of think would definitely be Halloweenish. Is that a word? It is now. Please make sure to leave those in the comments section. And please make sure to like this and share this with people. I want to build this up more. I'm lucky enough to be able to go on things like Coast to Coast AM and other higher ranking paranormal shows. But This is my little corner. You know what I mean? You know, she ain't much, but it's home. You know what I mean? So anyway, without further ado, the town that is most known for Halloween definitely have embraced it, which is strange because the town in itself did not like the paranormal to the point that they would be hanging people. That should be a very good clue, Scooby-Dooers. Salem, Massachusetts. There you go. That place is Spookville, USA. They've really embraced it. They've really opened up the element of that, you know. And I will say, in a broader, wider, global thing, both the U.S. and Canada really dig Halloween. I'm talking spending billions of dollars on costumes, candy, pumpkins, decorations every year. You know, and that's the thing. You know, in Celtic countries is really where Saween, or Samhain, as most people know it now, got its start. Awesome band, by the way. If you don't know who Samhain are, please go check them out. You'll thank me later. But I would say a good 63% of adults in the U.S. are not planning to dress up for Halloween. That makes me so sad. I love it. We would always set up. I'd always have a smoke smoke machine set up with a cauldron. I'd always have like laser lights under it that flickered and made it look like it was a boiling pot. Always slung candy. Always had Halloween music, you know. I was working in the lab late one night. What's better? You know, I remember bobbing for apples. I remember all this. He'd bring it back. Bring it back. Bring it back. And that's the thing. People talk about, you know, spending money. My God, look at Christmas. That stuff starts in before August, September, October, November. You know, they're trying to push it 6 months ahead and start Halloween stuff. I didn't have an argument. I had a very lively discussion. Let's say that with someone about when does Halloween season start. And again, in the comments, leave your feelings on this. For myself, I'm hardcore. I say 4th of July, enjoy it, man, go out there and, you know, have you a hot dog, have some fun, barbecue, but guess what, kids? July 5th, that is the introduction of Halloween season. So, July, August, September, October. That's 4 months. That's good prep up. And I'm not saying have everything on your yard for 4 months. I'm not saying that. I'm definitely a month or two out. But that's just me, kids. But I will be bringing you more interesting conversations. But for now, you go out there and enjoy that day and all the fun that summertime brings you. But as the sun sets behind the pines and the shadows grow long, make sure to check your back room, back hallway, maybe that little back trail. You never know what be lurking, because there be monsters here. But never fear, because there is knowledge in learning and in fear. So embrace it. And until next time, my sweet darlings, stay scared.